So sorry about the messy studio in the background. I'm actually packing right now. I'm heading to a trip on the West Coast for some photography, and by the time you guys see this video, I'll be in the air and on a plane. But recently I was editing some files from another trip, and it was a scene that I found. It was nothing special, but I did catch myself making 5 mistakes. And after years of editing landscapes, I realized I'm still doing these same mistakes. So there's something about editing the same way for 30 years. You stop seeing what's in front of you and you just repeat. You get into a routine and you just keep repeating those same mistakes. So I'm going to walk you through all 5 of these in the order I catch myself doing them, worst first. And if you've been editing for a few years, I'll bet money at least one of these mistakes lives in your workflow right now. So the question isn't, am I making mistakes? The question is, which ones and how often do I catch myself doing them before I hit export? So this is a file I pulled from a recent trip, and it's not a hero shot. It's just a scene I liked while I was out there. Nothing I planned to build a video around. Flat shadows, people in the shot, sky is brighter, midtones are really muddy, and it's kind of flat light. But that's exactly why it's perfect for this. It looked fine in the field, and it always does. The problems show up when you sit down and actually do the edit. So my first tip is really simple, and that's just oversaturating the landscape. Number 1, and this is the one I do every single time, is I crank up the saturation. There's this old look in my head, that Velvia film look. Everything is wild, everything is loud, so I grab the saturation slider and I always push it up to plus 40. And then for about 10 seconds it looks good. Then I step back and realize I've made a cartoon. So here's the fix, and I keep saying this over and over and over. Use Vibrance, not saturation. Vibrance protects the colors that are already strong and lifts the ones that aren't. So on this file, saturation at plus 50 really wrecked the sky. Vibrance at plus 15 did exactly what I wanted to do. I never take saturation past 15. Never. Alright, so tip number 2. That's skipping the S-curve. The midtones go flat, so I reach for contrast. But contrast pushes everything up. Highlights up, shadows down, and the middle just gets muddier. What I actually needed was a point curve, a general S shape that lifts the lights a touch and drops the blacks a touch, and leaves the middle to breathe on its own. One curve did this where contrast never did. And what I noticed is the curve didn't just fix the contrast, it fixed the color. When your midtones are flat and the whole image reads washed out, there's no amount of vibrance that'll save that. So here's a real big one for me, and that's sharpening without masking. Just applying sharpening to the whole image and calling it done. But here's the issue. Lightroom sharpens the whole frame. The sky, the noise, the water, all of it. And I was adding grain to the exact places that should stay grain free. So here's a quick tip. If you hold the Option key or Alt on a PC and you drag the masking slider, you'll see it go all black and white. White is where it gets sharpened, black is what's protected. So I push this up only until the edges light up. The rocks, the trees, horizon line. The sky goes black. Now the sharpening is doing its job. Detail where detail lives. So number 4 is a big one for me. I try to rescue the whole flat shadows with the global shadow slider, and that pulls up the whole image with it. So the better tool for that is the Luminance Range mask. So I'm going to use that to pick the dark tones, the shadowed mountains in front of me. I'm going to lift those tones and only those tones. The highlights stay exactly where they were and only those tones are affected. So this is one of the techniques that takes an image from flat to done. So the shadows have life in them the whole time. You just can't reach it sometimes with the big sliders. So tip number 5, and this is the one that I do all the time, is I actually reach for the global sliders first. So exposure, highlights, shadows, that whole panel. And what the image actually needs is a brush, a gradient, or a mask, aimed at one specific place. So here's the thing, global sliders are great, but they're loud and they change everything. A local adjustment is quiet, it changes one thing, and most of my best edits are the quiet ones. The one rule that I try to keep right now is very simple. If there's a problem in one part of the frame, the fix should be in that part of the frame. So here's what I'm going to tell you. This is the file straight out of camera. And this is what it looked like after I did all 5 of those mistakes. And here's what it looked like once I stopped doing all those mistakes myself. Less saturation, one curve, sharpening where it belonged, a shadow mask, local fixes instead of the global ones. Notice it's not louder, it's calmer, and the detail is finally where it should be. So do me a favor, I know this was a quick video. If you like this video, subscribe. I try to put a new video out every week. And if you're working on editing yourself and you have any questions, please drop me a comment. I like to read every one. Thanks for watching the video. See ya.